Hello, welcome to Stories for Wonderful Children. I'm Dan Wendelin, your host and storyteller. Tonight we continue the story of Myra and the Online School for Adventuring, a story I told my children during the pandemic of 2020. Tonight's episode has a little bit of background static towards the end that I can't sort out. I apologize for that, but I hope you enjoy the story anyway. Where were we? Last night their room got raided.
Oh, yeah.
And Tweety
swallowed
the prophecy stone.
Rock.
So, after all of the commotion of having their room raided by campus security, there seemed little to do but go to bed. It had been a very long day, in Myra's defense. And so she lay down and found herself asleep almost immediately. And it seemed like only a moment had passed before she woke up with Tweety shaking her shoulder. "Myra! Myra," Tweety was saying. "What?" said Myra. "I just went to sleep, Tweety." She opened one eye to see that she had clearly not gone just gone to sleep, because it was completely dark out, and campus had that quiet that only really descended in the wee hours of the morning. Tweety said, "Myra, I had a dream." "Yeah? So?" said Myra. "I'm trying to sleep, Tweety. We all have dreams. It's what we do when we sleep." "No," said Tweety. "Rockkin don't dream. I've never dreamed. I didn't know what they were, but I dreamed." Myra suddenly sat upright. "What was it a dream about?" she said. "I don't remember," said Tweety. "I remember the end of it. There were these 3 shapes, and they were looking at me, and they told me to remember." Myra said, "And then you forgot?" Tweety said, "I can't help it, Myra. It was my first dream, okay? I've never done it before. I don't know how to remember it. Do you remember all your dreams?" "No," said Myra. But Tweety," she said, "you swallowed that prophecy stone with all the messages, with the message in it from the fates. I think whatever it had to say, it wasn't finished, and now it can't get to me, so it's telling you." "Oh," said Tweety, "I did not volunteer for this." "You kind of did," said Myra, "when you swallowed my rock." "Well," Tweety said, "it seemed like a good idea at the time." Myra sighed. "It was a good idea, Tweety," she said. "It was probably the only idea that was going to work. But look." She got up and walked over to Tweety's desk and got a notebook and a pen. She said, "Here, put this right next to where you're resting, and if you dream again, as soon as you wake up, write down everything that you can remember. Okay?" "Okay," said Tweety. Myra laid back. "Myra," said Tweety. "What?" said Myra. "I'm a little worried about going to sleep," Tweety said. "I've never dreamt before, and it was kind of creepy, and I'm a little afraid of it." "It's okay," Myra said. "Dreams can't hurt you, and these dreams that you're having might very well be exactly what we need." "All right," said Tweety, and Tweety lay back, and Myra lay back, and was asleep moments later.
How would Tweety know that it was a dream he was having? It's like being blind your entire life and then suddenly being able to see.
I suppose, strictly speaking, it wasn't really a dream, since Rockkin don't dream. It was something like a dream, though. A vision, but visions while you're asleep. We call those dreams sometimes. Anyway, when Myra woke up the next morning, sunlight was already streaming in the window. It was Sunday, and so there were no classes. Myra quickly sat up to see if Tweety was still in the room, but Tweety was gone, and the journal that had been sitting next to Tweety's box of sand, where Tweety slept, was also gone. Myra got up and showered and got dressed and headed out to the cafeteria. When she got there, she spotted Tweety sitting in their usual table in the corner. Tweety was eating, and Myra spotted the dream journal sitting right next to Tweety. She made her way through the line, getting her usual waffles, but getting a double helping of strawberries and whipped cream. She felt like it had been a long week, and if there was ever a week where she deserved strawberries and whipped cream, this was it. So after piling her plate high, she collected Corin, who was also going through the line at the same time, and they headed over to the table where Tweety was sitting. Just after they sat down, Hetty joined them as well. "So," said Hetty, "how'd the big trip go?" "Yeah," said Corin. And so Myra took a moment and filled them all in. They got to the part about campus security investigating their room. They were both spellbound. And then when they got to the part about Tweety swallowing the prophecy stone, they both just turned and looked at Tweety, aghast. Tweety shrugged. "I'll sum up from here," Tweety said. "It gave me dreams, and I've written them down." And Tweety opened Tweety's dream journal and said, "When I fell asleep again, Myra, I was in that room that you described with the statues and all the stained glass around it. It was just like the way you described it, but there was something there, and it was at the base of the statues. And I walked towards it, and I bent down to see what it was, and it was a pair of shears." "Shears?" said Myra. "Ooh," said Hetty. "You mean like the shears that the fates use to cut the thread of life when it's time?" Tweety shrugged. "I don't know, but it was shears. And I bent down, and when I bent down I heard a noise. And I looked up, and the statues had moved. They had all turned to look at me. And when I looked up at them, they said, 'Find them.' And then I woke up." "Okay," said Myra. "That seems pretty clear, except for the fact that we have no idea where to find them." Tweety shrugged. "Well, I'll let you know if I get any further clues." "Do you think you could go back to sleep right now?" said Myra. "No," said Tweety. "I have homework to do." Myra sighed. "That's fine," she said. "Just the fate of the world hanging in the balance and all, but, if you get sleepy mid-afternoon..." Tweety said, "Look, I'm going to go do my homework. Y'all should maybe think about doing your homework. And if I have something more to tell you, I'll let you know. And in the meantime, I guess everybody keep their eyes open for a big honking pair of scissors, right?" "Got it," said Corin. "Big pair of scissors. Will do." And they finished their breakfast and headed off their separate ways. And that is the end for tonight. Thanks for listening to Stories for Wonderful Children. I created today's show, but questions and running commentary were supplied by my children. The theme music was created by Brandon Thompson, and our wonderful logo was designed by Silas Swindelin. If you know someone who might enjoy the show, please tell them about it. Do you want more stories? You can now subscribe to the show and help pick a new story for me to tell every month. The show's website is storiesforwonderfulchildren.com. Until next time, I'm Dan Wendelin, reminding you to tell someone you love a story.